Hey guys, so my last video that I posted, I had arrived in New York. You got to see sort of like a little quick montage of that experience, which I thought was super fun. But since then, quarantine and COVID happened, so I didn't actually get to share anything else with you guys. You guys didn't see any of the experiences that I had, and I did a really bad job. Let's not lie about the truth. I did a really bad job at recording during my time in New York. I didn't vlog many experiences. So I thought I would sit down and have somewhat of a story time, if you will, and share some experiences with you guys. So the only reason the reason I went to New York was to attend Broadway Dance Center. I was there for a training program and I signed up for 3 months, and it was such an amazing experience. During that time, I had what I felt like were amazing opportunities. I was there for only a month and a half before COVID happened and I had to come home. I have little notes here. I'm sorry. I keep looking away. But in my notes, I wrote down 3 things to talk about when it comes to Broadway Dance Center. So I wrote down what my tuition covers, master classes, and guest teachers, and what the difference between those two are. So my tuition covered 12 classes. 2 of those classes had to be ballet. The rest of those classes were totally up to me. I had to pick a focus, which is kind of like I have to pick a major in terms of what my genre was going to be. So if my focus was street style, and I had to kind of split up my week in order to fit the rest of the 12 classes in, or 10 classes, excuse me, the rest of the 10 classes in, and not just only take street styles, but split them up and have a good variety in styles. So that's what my tuition covered. It did also cover mandatory master classes. Sometimes it was twice a month. The first month we did have 2 master classes that we had to attend. The second month, which we were just starting to get into, there was 1 master class that we had to attend, but that got canceled because we all had to go home. Master classes and guest teachers. The difference between the two is that master classes was not covered by your tuition. So for master classes, we would have a guest choreographer come, which is different from having guest teachers. But if a guest choreographer came to the studio and they were giving a master class, and the master class could be anywhere from an hour to like an hour and a half, you had to pay extra. That was not covered by your tuition. That was something that you had to pay for out of your own pocket. So sometimes the guest choreographers were there for a week. Sometimes they were only there for a weekend. We had a couple guest choreographers who were there for longer than they intended to be. So lucky for us, sometimes they put that guest choreographer on the schedule, which our tuition could cover. I know it gets a little tricky. Guest teachers come in and get put on the schedule for us to take classes. So then our tuition covers those classes and we can sign in or sign up for whatever it is for that guest teacher and have that fall under our 12 classes for the week. So that was super fun. I had a really great time learning from so many different teachers, so many different guest choreographers, and it was just an experience that I never got to have before. There was just so much to learn from. I felt like a sponge. I felt like I was just taking in everything that they were saying to me, even if it was like, just be yourself, have fun in class, you know, like things like that. It sounds so cliche, and it sounds like you hear it all the time, whether it's your at-home studio or it's at a studio that you're going to for the first time. It sounds like it's a broken record from every teacher that you've ever experienced, but when it comes from choreographers and from professional dancers that you really look up to and that you really respect, then you kind of figure, okay, there's truth in what they're saying then. because when you go to an audition or when you are rehearsing for a show, they want to see you shine through. They want to see your personality, and that's how you get hired sometimes, just because they feel like you're bringing a vibe. So I tried to be a sponge as much as I could. Let's talk about the subway and the people of New York, because I feel like New Yorkers get such a bad rap for being really grouchy and for being so rude. I did have like one experience, and it was a subway experience, but I felt like New Yorkers were just really nice. I felt like because we had people, or like you come across people from different parts of the world, because New York is just so diverse. There's a lot of culture, and you're just getting tourists and people who are moving to New York from different parts of the world, different parts of the country, that, you know, you're kind of looking out for each other because you feel that you're in the same boat at the end of the day, you know? So it was really cool meeting people from all over and finding out that actually people are nice. People are nice out here. Yes, we're very strict on the coffee, but people are nice out here. Speaking of coffee, if you go to New York, please, please, please try and find like hole in the wall places, because I feel like they are totally overlooked and people always just go to the Starbucks just because you're in New York and you think that people are always buying Starbucks. Go to some of like the local like hole in the wall places. Those places have bomb coffee. Subway experiences. My subway experience. Okay, so the first time that I rode the subway by myself, I was definitely nervous. Definitely nervous, because I was just worried that I was either going the wrong way or that I was just gonna get lost and I don't know, end up like in Staten Island or something. I left my apartment one day and I was going to the studio, but I was going just to go and like get my ID tags and everything. So I left like 3 hours before I had to be there. Thought I knew where I was going. I was like, everything's fine. This is gonna be okay. Nothing's happening, nothing bad's going on. I don't feel uncomfortable, I don't feel nervous. But then I got off way too soon. I probably went past like, I probably went like 4 blocks maybe, and I got off. I was nowhere near Midtown. I was nowhere near where I needed to be. And I got off and I turned around and I went back to the beginning. And I texted my roommate, what stop do I need to get off at? Went back and I managed to do it. After that, everything was fine. One time that someone was ever rude to me in New York was when I had to be at the studio super early. So it was like morning traffic and the subway was so full. The cart was so full. And I got on, I had my backpack on because like I had my dance shoes and change of clothing and everything in my backpack, and I was trying to just like shimmy into the cart, and I was about to take off my backpack and this girl comes behind me and she starts moving my bag from side to side as if like I'm in her way, and she throws me aside. Not like I went flying or anything, but she like just like shoved me and she was like, excuse you. First of all, you're shoving me around. If I'm not going anywhere, it's because of you. But anyway, that was the only time that I encountered anyone rude and like really grouchy. And it was like 7 a.m. So it was understandable. But dang, girl, really? I'm sorry if you can hear people gardening and mowing the lawn in the background. It's rude, I know. My roommates were really, really nice. I actually really enjoyed having roommates. They were super helpful. I didn't get to spend a whole lot of time with my roommates though, just because all 3 of us were super busy. So I had, the one roommate was a nanny during the day, and then she was a musician at night, so she was constantly doing gigs. And then the other one was studying, so he was constantly either in class or going to the library, and then I think he was trying to start work as well. But like schedules were always overlapping. So I either was coming home super late or they were leaving super early. So we hardly really got to hang out and spend time together. We hardly got to hang out and spend time together, but when we did, it was like just hanging out on the couch watching series, which was really fun. We did go to my one roommate's gig together, all three of us, which was so fun. I really loved it, and I love her music. So if you guys can, go and check her out. She's on all streaming platforms. Her name is Emily McNally. I will link it so that you guys can check it out, because honestly, she dope. For real, for real. They were also just super helpful toward, like, all the way up until I moved out, which obviously I had to move out. Obviously I had to move out a whole lot sooner because of COVID. So they were really helpful all the way up until the end. So I really appreciated that. Last thing I'm going to talk about, because I didn't want this video to be too long, but the friends that I made in my program are the best. I'm just so annoyed by this lawnmower guy, because it's here like every other day. Like, I understand grass is always growing, but dang. My friends that I made from my training program are amazing. I absolutely love them. I feel like I have a really good, solid core group of friends that I can lean on, friends who are willing to get up at 2:30 in the morning to go to an audition with me. Love them for that. We had so many international students in our program, which was amazing, and it was really cool to bond with them and hang out and just have so many different shared experiences. So I miss them all so much. I am trying my best to stay in contact with all of the friends, because we really want to all go back at the same time. So we're all trying to stay connected and stay in tune with each other, I feel, so that way we know what's going on with each other, and we're all in the same boat, basically. We all feel the struggle of not being in studio, of trying to take online dance classes or online singing classes or acting classes or whatever it is, and staying motivated when we're all stuck in the house. I know that some places are opening up, like the state that I'm in right now, everything should be opened up, but sometimes you just want to take an extra precaution. Aiden. I am just trying to stay in touch with all of my friends from all over. Time differences, yeah, can be a little bit of a struggle. I'm not good with keeping track with that, but regardless, I absolutely love the friendships that I've made, and I hope that we can all dance again together sometime and kick it. I think that's everything. That's everything that I wanted to share in this video. I am so sorry that I didn't record vlog more while I was in the city. When I go back, I will definitely do that. And if you guys have any questions about New York, if you have any questions about my program, or anything in terms of like living in New York, whether it's like finances, places to go, things to see, whatever, let me know. And hopefully my next video will not include a lawnmower. I actually really enjoy these. I actually really enjoy recording and making videos, something that I've always loved doing. But for the most part, I think that some of these videos, I think I'm just really doing for myself, because I want to make sure that I'm able to look back on some of these experiences, especially with travel, and remember them and still have that feeling, and kind of make my channel kind of like my diary, or like my travel diary, you know? So yeah, that's kind of what I'm hoping to do. So please do support, check it out, and thanks for watching.